Okay, the Search Console, we just stopped right there. You can look at that. And the Search Console, just to step back, um, it's called Google Webmasters Tools, where you would have to sign up for and you would have to authorize and verify that you are the owner of the website. And once you've done that, that ties back into your Google Analytics account, so you can have more insight into what people are searching for, from where they're searching, and what devices they're using, and so forth when they're on Google search, and how that in turn impacts their behavior on your site potentially. So here you can see the landing page that people, when searching for, click on to come to your site. And you can see here the Shop by Brand YouTube seems to be the highest. So that seems to be a very popular brand when it comes to Google Merchandise. That's good to know. You can look at it by countries. So here you can understand what the performance was. And interestingly here, you've got the most impressions coming from Vietnam. That's quite interesting. Unfortunately, no transactions from there. I don't know if they might not be shipping there, to be honest. But then, of course, you have the United States and Canada as the next highest ones here in terms of actual revenue generated. Devices, likewise, you can use to understand the type of device that people used in their search and how they came to you. And lastly, the queries tell you what people have searched for and then actually clicked on and came to you. The average position here tells you, by the way, the average position that your site was ranked in the organic search results. Yes, and then you can use that again to understand how well certain search queries are doing for you. As you can clearly see here, YouTube seems to be the preferred brand for people to purchase things for. The social section, as the name suggests, provides you with information on social media. So this is the big picture overview here. This gives you sort of an overview of all the conversions, so goals and e-commerce. I like to focus it. Let's just look at e-commerce transactions, so you just disable the other types of goals for now. Otherwise, it just gets too messy. You want to look at one goal at a time, really. But now you've got the e-commerce conversions, so those people that purchase. So this might be good to know for you to see, all right, so there was a total of 16,000 sessions in our date range, mind you. And from those, you can see how many of those then actually came through social referrals. You can see the conversions that came as a result of the social referrals. And now we're going to talk towards the end of the semester more about attribution models, because as you will see, channels such as social and others, they can either contribute to a conversion or they were really the last interaction, basically the one that made the transaction happen. And of course, both are important things. They can initiate, contribute, or then be the final touch point before someone purchases. And you can see how they played out here. Overall, though, you can see that I think the role of social was rather minuscule in the big picture, right? So in terms of last interaction, that's what it was that's what it generated in terms of contributions here, and in the grand scheme of things, social does not seem to play a big role here for Google Merchandise Store. You can see that apparently YouTube is really the main driving force behind that. So you can dig a little bit deeper into the network referrals. This goes back to the social network that we looked at. So you can see how the various social media sites compare. And this might be useful to understand, again, where you might want to invest more time in, right? Where you want to spend more time in building your audience. Clearly, YouTube is big for Google Merchandise here. Yes. The landing pages, likewise, this is similar to the landing pages earlier with the Search Console. So where do people basically come to? They call it the shared URL here, but it's the same thing. So this is the URLs that are being shared. As you can see, it's mostly just the home page directly, with some exceptions here. you have you can again dig deeper into only those that have led to conversions into those social networks, which really there aren't that many conversions to look at. So this data I would look. I'm not sure how much you can analyze this data, to be honest. Plugins refers to the you've seen those buttons, the share buttons or like buttons on a website. So you can include those and keep track of what they are doing for you, basically, on your own website. But they're either not tracking that here, or they're not using any social buttons on their own website. I'm not sure. I haven't checked that, to be honest. I believe they don't have any, but we can check it out on the Google Merchandise Store. The users flow here, likewise, is very similar to the user flow that we looked at in the audience section, but this time it's organized by social network. So as an FYI, you could have created that same user's flow from the audience side of things if you had just changed the primary dimension here to social network. But again, this might be useful to understand, what the differences in user flow are as they come, for example, from YouTube, which goes straight to home, and then there's a large drop-off, 71.4% versus Facebook. Let's look at that, and we can see, for example, only this segment. And there you can see it's not as straightforward. Not everybody goes straight to home from Facebook, so there's a different pattern here. And it's a much lower drop-off in traffic from the homepage, so that's good. So again, you can use that to maybe customize or optimize some of the pages that are being frequently visited here for Facebook users, because they seem to be having different interests than other user groups. Okay, then last section is the campaigns section. And this goes back to the campaigns that you can define yourself. So on the one hand, of course, this includes the campaigns that come through auto-tagging directly from Google AdWords, but this also includes additional campaigns that you can define yourself. So your email campaigns, for example, that we had talked about, they will be included here. They have a funny test campaign that they ran here that has apparently some data as well. So now, of course, we don't know much about these campaigns, so it's hard for us to make inferences about what works and what doesn't. You can see they're splitting it up here by Google and partners. So for source, they're just calling partners the various, like in our example earlier, we used Quinnipiac as an example, right? Here they're calling it partners. And that's their catch-all for campaigns from these sources. Medium, affiliate links, or CPC, cost per click. And you can again use that information to understand if there are any significant differences. You can see here many more sessions, or more sessions from CPC than affiliate, but actually there's basically zero conversion rate for affiliate links. So you really want to question at this point the effectiveness of your affiliate partnerships. This is for paid keyword campaigns, so CPC campaigns, and you can dig a little bit deeper there. This is analogous to what we looked at with AdWords earlier. Of course, it's possible that you have other paid keywords, for example, with Yahoo, that you're running, and you would see that information here. Organic keywords is similar to the Search Console, but of course it includes also traffic from other search engines, and you can see the keywords that were being used here and how they performed. So this might be useful. And likewise, again, keep in mind, not provided and not set are Google Search and AdWords, respectively, the keywords that are not being transferred to you. Last but not least, you can do a cost analysis to understand what basically you have paid. This, of course, assumes that this information is being provided, which in our case, as you can see here, is only from Google's own cost per click, meaning AdWords, because this is integrated with Google Analytics, so you have that data available to you. None of the others make that available. You can, in a premium version of Google Analytics, get that for other sources, but for us, it's really just Google AdWords. So you can use that then to better understand, even down to a keyword level, how you have been performing and what it has cost you. And then most importantly, you can use that information to understand, how has that been driving actual revenues. Okay, this is a lot. The acquisition menu is very powerful, but I hope this brief overview helped you understand all the things you could potentially do. But again, it's all about just understanding where did people come from, how did they get here, and really what have they been doing on my site. All right, so thank you very much.